Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Unity Orlando. Our opening statement this morning is, I am thankful for my life and grateful to receive all the good God has for me. Let's all affirm that together. I am thankful for my life and grateful to receive all the good God has for me. All right, let's all close our eyes and take a nice deep breath in. Let's affirm that together in the silence. And so it is. And now if you'd like to stand and help us sing our joy song this morning, it's Light Workers Greeting Song. Before we were born, we chose a life to live. What if before we shared, we chose a life to give away a truth today, and hear the angels say, we all let love lead the way. We all let love lead the way. We all let love lead the way. What if before we could breathe, we chose to speak of love? What if before we could sing, we chose to be one of all the voices of an angel's choir, singing wisdom and our heart's desire, speaking absolute truth and love. Speak of absolute truth and love. Here she comes. Speak of absolute truth and love. What if we were God's love, living in God's love? What if the Christ in me has set my spirit free? Then I realize what I've hoped is true, what I've hoped is true. The Christ in me beholds the Christ in you. The Christ in me beholds the Christ in you. The Christ in me beholds the Christ in you. The Christ in me beholds the Christ in you. The Christ in me beholds the Christ in you. The Christ in me beholds the Christ in you. The Christ in me beholds the Christ in you. The Christ in me beholds the Christ in you. The Christ in me beholds the Christ in you. Right, thank you very much. You may be seated.
Good morning, Unity Orlando. Good morning, my beautiful people. I'm Susan Francis. I'm your platform speaker today. Do we have any visitors? I don't think so. Welcome online as well. We're all family here. Just a couple announcements. Prayer chaplains are available to pray with you after service. And today in the house, we have myself and Paul as prayer chaplains. So if you need prayer, oh, there she is. Naomi snuck in. She snuck in on us. Naomi is here as well. So we are full up. Come see one of us. Also, a reminder, we pray every evening at 8 p.m. We invite you to join us. The November affirmation is, I release anything and everything that no longer serves my unfolding good. It's lovely. Just a reminder, tomorrow is Veterans Day. And so we would love it if you are a veteran, if you wouldn't mind standing. We want to thank you for your service. There's Paul over there and Brian. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you again for serving your country, our country. Let's see. Funds for our roof repair are coming in, so we're still working towards our goals. So we would love it if you can find it in your hearts to cover us, so to speak. Reverend Bob's lesson today is Rising Through the Portal. This is going to be a good one. I might have to hold on to John's guitars to hold me down in my seat instead of rising through the portal.
He'll probably go with you.
He'll go with me. There you go. All right, but before I turn it over to Brian, I have a little story to tell you. So there was Sister Mary Ann, and she worked for a home health agency. And she was out making her rounds visiting homebound patients when she actually ran out of gas. And so as luck would have it, a Texaco station was just a block away. So she walked to the station and asked to borrow a gas can so she could put gas in her car and then she'd bring it back. The attendant told her he didn't have it anymore. He had lent it out and it wasn't back, but she could wait for it if she liked. Well, since she was on her way to see a patient, she decided not to wait, and so she walked back to her car. She looked for something in her car that she could fill with gas, and she realized she had a bedpan. So she took the bedpan down to the gas station, always resourceful, she carried it down there, and she filled it with gas and carried the full bedpan back to her car. And as she was pouring the gas into her tank, two Baptists were watching this from across the street. And one of them turned to the other and they said, "If it starts, I'm going to turn Catholic." So, water and wine and gas. Right? Yeah. There you go. Anyway, I'm going to turn it over to Brian.
All right. Thank you, Susan, for being so consistent. All right. Here's what I consider a Brian classic. This was 2005-ish, I think I wrote this. It's called One Becomes One with the One. I have one that says One Becomes One, but this is One with the One. Quiet silence in the state of one. I know I have become one with the one. Here inside the quietness, I'm breathing in love, the love which I intend, the love without end, and I am the one that chooses outcome. I feel love reach down and touch us on the ground as we become one with the one. A healing state of one. We have just begun the delivery of one from the one. And I am the one who chooses outcome. I feel love reach down and touch us on the ground as we become one with it's in everyone.
Ah, that was beautiful. That was wonderful. How y'all doing today? Welcome to all of you who are here. Welcome to all of you who are watching from home. Busy week, huh? Okay, I'm just going to get right into it. I was not looking forward to presenting a lesson after the election. Quite frankly, I never do. There's always someone hurting. Paul described it like this to me when we were talking. He said, well, it's like a football game. You got two big sets of bleachers on either side, and they're both full of people. And you know, at the end of this game, half of them are going to be miserable. So, it's important to know that unity embraces everyone. Unity is filled with Democrats. Unity is filled with Republicans. And unity is filled with nonpartisans. And here it is, in unity, we believe in pulling together and supporting one another even when they hold diverse opinions. Why? Because we're all children of God. Simple as that. Now, today I considered totally ignoring the election and just finishing my series on the path of the mystic. That would have been the easiest route. But I've decided there were too many people called me and said, I cried all night and I'm still in fear and despair, not to address this whole thing with a spiritual plan of action for making the world a better place. And this plan of action has to be a plan that can be embraced whether by everyone, whether you were pleased by the results of this election or whether you were deeply disappointed by the results of this election. But I'm going to suggest we all need to get together behind okay. Now, I actually planned this lesson because it's about as far as anything happening away from anything happening in the human world as you can get. And I thought, that's safest for this Sunday. On the other hand, since we're going to talk about either feeling elated or depressed over what just happened, I'm going to say that, as usual, divine order has prevailed. And it turns out that rising through the portal into the higher realms and then channeling the light of God down through us and into the world is the perfect medium for a plan of spiritual action that will make this world a better place. So let's start by stretching out our perspective. It's always good to get a little bit of the macro perspective. So let's stretch out beyond this election to something worldwide. Let's look at the whole world, not the U.S., the whole world, and even politics throughout the whole world. And I'm simply going to say I am deeply concerned for humanity. Whether you're rejoicing or depressed at the end of Tuesday evening, we all of us as spiritual beings have some serious work to do on behalf of humanity. On a worldwide level, not just in this country. Anger, fear, hate, and the use of force and violence seem to dominate the life functions here on the earth. And though this election may have showcased anger, fear, and hate, with each side accusing the other of these qualities, it isn't ours, it's a worldwide malady. This is humanity we're talking about. Charles Fillmore once said, "We must not anticipate better social and economic conditions until we have better men and women to institute and sustain those conditions." Now, politicians worldwide have a very bad name, right? And they take a lot of blame. But what I'm going to say today is they're not the problem. They're the symptom that human consciousness as a whole is drifting downward. And it's our job to change that. It's our job to channel more light into this world so that human consciousness can rise to a higher level of joy, harmony, and caring for one another. Worldwide, if we can do this higher consciousness will allow higher leadership then to gravitate to it. I often say something that Linda hates me to say. A people deserve their leaders. That's worldwide. If you want to change leadership, or the level at which things are being led, you got to change the people. You've got to change the consciousness of humanity. So, whether you're approved or disapproved of the results of this election, I believe we all can agree that considering the state of this world right now, we as humans can do better. It's time to be part of the solution. Channeling more light, love, joy, harmony, and caring into the world. Essentially, I'm saying very bluntly, if you want a better country, work to lift the consciousness of the people within it. And unfortunately, you cannot do this by just determining who the good people and who the bad people are. That is exactly how you lower consciousness. You cannot do it by demonizing those with differing opinions. You lift consciousness not by force, but by demonstration. Not making demands on people around you, but by demonstrating what you want to see in your world. Anger, fear, and hate are amazingly compelling energies. They can just suck you right in. And sometimes we get sucked into anger, fear, and hate in order to fight against anger, fear, and hate. And it doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way at all. Jesus said, "Resist not evil," in Matthew 5:39. Don't fight against evil with evil. Don't go on to evil's level. Spiritually, the way to fight evil is not to fight the darkness, but to embrace the light and the goodness. And you can't force people into goodness either. You can't even legislate them into it. Jesus' instructions were very clear on how you lead people into goodness. He said, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven." You lead by example. So if you believe these are dark times, then make a commitment to being a child of the light. Commit to allow God's light to shine through your heart, through your life, and into your world. And know that's how we change the world. Now the disclaimer. This lesson is about what you can do as a spiritual being to lift humanity. What you choose to do as a human being is still up to you. But this is the spiritual path, the spiritual journey we're all on. However, I do have one caveat on it's up to you. Whatever path you choose on a human level, it's imperative that you keep your heart open. That was Jesus' teaching all the way. Remember, love your enemies. Keep your heart open. I'm not saying you can't take a stand for this or that. I'm saying when you do, you must do so keeping your heart open. Remember Jesus on the cross saying, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Not condemning them. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. So this essentially is two talks in one. The first is just dealing with how do we deal with a world that sometimes doesn't go the way we want it to. How do we lift the consciousness of this world out of anger, fear, and hate into joy and harmony, love, and peace? But I promised you the portal. And like I said, according to divine order, I think it's very much part of the answer. So here we go. There's an old adage within mysticism. It says the mystic must have his head in the heavens and his feet firmly rooted in the earth. You are the connecting link between the heavens and the earth. And at least while you're here, that is your role. You are a multi-dimensional being. You are living on several levels at the same time. Yes, we're kind of infatuated with this level, and I get that. It's got 99 and 44/100% of our attention. You know, like Ivory Soap used to say. You got to be old enough to remember that one. But because you're a multidimensional being, you can rise through the portal at the top of your being into the higher realms. And you can awaken as that connecting link between the heavens and the earth. So today we're going to talk about the crown chakra, or in the West we call it the Christ Center, because you rise through it into the Christ Spirit. I dedicated a lot of my life to studying. I dedicated a portion of my life to studying chakras, energy centers, your energy body, the part of you that is non-physical. And so far, we've talked about the heart center during this series. We've talked about the solar plexus center. Now I want to talk about the crown. Told you we're going to go off the deep end here. And we have more classic unity subjects starting next week. Okay, the crown center. Where is it? Well, it's at your crown. It's the top of your head. This is the spot in the physical body that we use for concentration because it is symbolically connected to the highest point in your being. It's the highest point of your body, right? Well, I'm standing. What if I'm lying down? Every picture you see of a human being has them standing. Okay, it's the highest point. So, we need to understand in dealing with this chakra, it's slightly different than the other two. I told you in the heart, image it as a ball of light, radiating in all directions. I told you in the solar plexus to image it as a ball of light, radiating in all directions. It's light radiating through you. There are different vibrations of light, different calibers. They feel different. But it's a ball of light radiating into the world around you. Not so with the crown. The crown's a little different. The crown's a portal. And it's either opened or it's closed. Simple as that. If you open it and you rise upward through the top of your head, and please understand, every time I give you a physical location, I'm talking about something that is totally non-physical. But for meditation purposes, having a spot in your body to concentrate on that symbolically represents it is a powerful tool. When you can rise through that portal into the higher realms, it literally gives you relief from the oppression of the human world. One of the reasons why I think this is perfect for today. If you're not happy in a world where you feel the darkness is descending, it's definitely time to rise into the light. One of the ways you can start working with this center is feeling the ascending and the descending currents. These are spiritual energies, and they represent two aspects of what can happen here. You can rise, that's the ascending. You can rise through the Christ center, through the crown center. And you can rise into the higher realms. And there is an energy to rising. And if you want to image, once again, the spine is loosely symbolic of the pole of your being. And if you want to talk about rising up the pole of your being into the higher realms, it awakens within you a sense that you are a whole lot more than this human being. That there are other sides to your being. So, you can feel the ascending current going right up your spine and through the portal. But you also can feel the descending current. And that's the love of God, the light of God descending into your life. You are feeling the energy of the higher realms descending. One of the practices is into your heart and then radiating it out into the world around you. said rising through the portal can give you relief from the oppression of the human world. So if the election didn't go your way, it's time to do a little bit of this. Realize you are more than this human being. Nobody ever likes to hear me say this, but you have no idea how relatively insignificant this life is. You have so much more. So if this life goes wrong, just keep remembering, you are so much more. So, we're talking about opening the portal to the crown. And that creates two possible types of practices. The first are practices of rising into the higher realms, rising into the light of God. The second is allowing that light of God to descend, the celestial energies to descend through you and be channeled into the earth around you. For scriptures, let's try John 18:36. Jesus said to Pilate, "My kingdom is not of this world." He says, "Are you a king?" "If I am, my kingdom is not of this world." And yours isn't of this world either. I'm going to repeat this. You are so much more. John 17:11, 15, and 16, Jesus kind of continues this thought. He's praying. He says, "Father, these disciples are in the world, but I request not that thou shouldst take them out of the world, but that thou shouldst protect them from evil, for they are not of the world, just as I am not of the world." We are spiritual beings living a human life. Never forget that when humanity starts to get you down. We're all in this world, but not of it. Now I want to do one more, and I'm going to go clear back to Genesis 28:12. Jacob dreamed. You should know where I'm going now. "And behold, a ladder was set up on the earth, and the top of it reached into heaven. And behold, the angels of God were," and I quote, "ascending and descending on it." The celestial energies are descending down that ladder. Your soul is ascending into the heights. Jesus said the kingdom of God is within us. It's within you. And that ladder, that's within you too. That leads from the earth to the heavens. Divine energies ascend and descend this ladder through us. That's our spiritual role. We're so caught in our human role, we miss how powerful the spiritual role is. When you're growing up, I don't know, my dad was a Methodist minister in the early years. Became a Unity minister after, when I was in college. We got into Unity when I was in high school. So I remember the song, "I am climbing Jacob's ladder." I don't think I sang it right. Brian assures me I was way off. Okay, I don't remember the song, but I remember singing it. I am climbing Jacob's ladder. That's what you're doing when you're rising out of your human self into the higher realms. You're climbing Jacob's ladder within you. So, let's talk about some practices. I'm going to get nitty-gritty about opening the portal so we can, number one, rise into the higher realms, and number two, channel the higher energies back into our world. First practice, we're going to talk about the physical location and using it as a point of concentration. Keep your attention on your crown center in order to open the portal and keep it open as you walk through life. Okay, where is it? I said it's right at the top of your head, right? Can you put your attention on that spot in your body? Can you put your attention on your toe? Think of your toe. Now think of the top of your head. Now, it helps if with your eyes closed you look up to keep your attention on the top of your head. And it helps to use sound. The sounds that we use when trying to awaken areas within certain chakras are used because they vibrate that section of the body. Ah, when you use an ah sound, you can feel it in your heart. Oh, you pull from your solar plexus. You're down in the bottom. Different sounds will pull from different sections. And the M sound will vibrate the top of your skull. Do it with me for a second. You should feel the vibration kind of go right up over the top of your head until you can feel it right there at the top. You say, this is really outer stuff. I agree. But we're going to use it to get where we want to go. So, we're going to move next into lifting our energy level. Okay, I've gotten ahead of myself. I did want to say one more thing about the crown. No. According to the notes, I'm on track. When you think of the crown, when you place your attention here, it pops open. Simple as that. And when you get caught in the world, it pops closed. The object is to try to keep it open, right? So you want to think of your crown center often enough that it stays open while you walk through life. Just keep thinking of that crown center. It may take some practice in meditation first to feel the vibration there at the top of your head. But once you've accomplished the task, you can bring your attention back there throughout your day continually. And every time you do, it pops open until you find yourself eventually walking through life with the portal to the higher realms within you open. And anytime the portal is open, divine light is descending into your life and into this world. So, we did a little practice with the M sound and pulling your attention to the top. Let's use it in something a little more structured. Number 2 is lift your energy level into the higher realms, your energy level, by starting at your root chakra and quickly rising through the top of your head. It's like firing a rocket. On an energy level, this is climbing Jacob's ladder. And you do it over and over and over until it's natural to you. You can use the words, I am. I is not a perfect match for the root center, but it's close enough, and we're going to use it. I. Feel it in your root, right there. I. Down at the base of your spine. Am. And what you're doing is you're feeling the energy at the base of your being, and you're drawing it upward to the ground and through it. I am. Let's do it. I am. I am. I am. I am. Do it for a while. And you'll feel your energy level change. You're lifting your lower energies, or your attention from your lower energies to your higher energies. The third one is going the other direction. Remember I said it, there's the ascending current and there's the descending current. Descending, you want the light of God to descend into your life and radiate into the world. And yes, you can just surround yourself in light right here where you are. But there's a real sense of pulling celestial light downward when you simply open the portal. Looking at it, you feel it open, and you feel the light of God descending down through you. And it doesn't come through you just for you. It comes through you to make you a blessing to the world. It comes through you, through your heart, radiated in all directions. So on the breath, breathing in, feel the energy, the light of God descending into your heart. And breathing out, radiating that light into the world around you. Let's do it for a minute. Breathing in, the light descends into your heart. Breathing out, radiates into the world around you. Keep it up. Okay. Do this throughout your day until you know that the light of God is shining through you wherever you go. Wherever you go. Now, I told you I chose this because it's about as far away from the human experience as you can get. And it is. Everything I'm talking about is totally invisible. You have to feel it with your spiritual senses. And with a little work, you awaken that, and you can do that. So let's talk about merging the two. Number 3 is to open the portal and allow the light of God to descend and radiate into your world. And number 4, is to open the portal and feel the light of God descending into your life, to create your life as a bubble of light, love, joy, harmony, and goodness. Earlier, this was my message. This is exactly what we have to give to the world. You lead by example. Let your light so shine before men that they see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. Okay? Create a bubble of goodness in your life. I don't care what the world's doing around you. You can do that. So image that light descending into you and into your life. And image your life as that bubble of goodness. And then live in it. You say, well, it's kind of hard to live in this bubble of goodness when the whole world's going crazy around me. Yeah, I'm going to quote Sam Walton on this one. You go, oh, you got to be kidding me. Back in, I think it was the 70s, when Walmart was doing its big expansion. And as they had begun this big expansion, a recession set in. So consequently, a reporter has Sam Walton saying, you're building all these new stores. We're in the middle of a recession. Is this really a wise thing to do? And I love Sam Walton's response. He said, we at Walmart are not choosing to participate in the recession. And I guess they didn't. You can choose to have a bubble of goodness, even though the world seems to be in a recession of darkness. You can choose to let your life be a bubble of light. So for a moment, just close your eyes and image your life as that bubble of goodness. Image your life filled with love, joy, harmony, beauty, and goodness of every kind. And just image a bubble around you. And know that this is what you do for the world. Because we're all connected. And your bubble doesn't separate you from everyone. It just allows you to live in goodness and put your lamp up on a light stand instead of under a basket. Which leads us exactly to the last one. My last practice is, very concrete. Keep your attention on your crown center and affirm one of Jesus' power statements. I, if I be lifted up, will draw all humanity unto me. There was a time in my life when I worked with all of Jesus' power statements, just trying to feel them. What did the energy feel like? This one I took thousands of times. And I tell you, it is a phenomenal energy experience. You're asking to rise. Not to rise above your fellow human beings, but but to rise knowing they are connected to you. They are part of you. And as you rise, they must rise too. If I be lifted up, will draw all humanity unto me. God, use my life as the magnet to draw human consciousness higher. Let's do it together. If I be lifted up, will draw all humanity unto me. Feel the joy of serving through example. Well, I'm going to end it. If this world becomes too oppressive, rise through the portal in the top of your head into the higher realms for relief. And then return nurtured and strengthened for what you must face. 2, constantly work to keep the portal open so that the light of God can descend through you into the world. This is how we become the light of the world that Jesus told us we were. And my last admonition is this: always remember, you are in this world, but you are not of it. You are in this world. You are not of it. You are of the higher realms. And just like Jesus, we say, my kingdom is not really of this world. So let's close our eyes. Take a deep breath, sigh it out. Let's begin by using that I am. I am, starting with I, feel it. Kind of just squeeze your buttocks a little bit. I, let it go as you go. Am, to the top of the head. And feel your energy rising like a rocket upward. Together. I am. I am. I am. I am. I am. Now feel yourself rising through the portal into the higher realms beyond. And as you rise into the higher realms, you're rising into joy. Where you find yourself rising into the joyous celebration. Celestial choir, if you would. But more than a song, it's hearts uplifted. Everywhere there are thousands of beings around you with their hearts uplifted. And you can feel this joyous energy rising like music. Join the choir. And here just be part of the heavenly host. Feel the joy lifting your heart. your energies slowly rising. The joy of joining with all those wonderful beings around you. The joy of being part of this celebration of life. Now slowly feel yourself rising higher. Leaving the celebration, the music, the excitement. Leaving it all behind as you rise into silence. We're slowly rising into the realms of silence. And there's a great peace. A quiet knowing that all is well. And as you rise, you sense that there are two great beings of light on either side of you, escorting you upward. They don't necessarily say anything, but their presence strengthens you, nurtures you, and beckons you higher. So rise higher and higher. And you continue to rise as they step aside now. For what lies beyond only you can do. You are rising into the pure light of God. Rise into the light, swirling colors. You leave form behind. For you're rising beyond form. Beyond boundaries, beyond structure. And you are now immersed in the light of God. And amazing, beautiful colors of light swirl through you, and white swirls through you. And all the feelings of goodness swirl through you. And the awesome presence permeates your being. And having no boundaries left, you are one with it all. Stretch out into the infinite light of God. Feel it nurturing what you used to call your soul, nurturing your being. Where you have being and yet you also are the whole. I am the light of God, expressing as me. And for now, I'm lost in the light and loving it. You feel the tug. It's time to return to where your feet are firmly rooted. But as you now descend, you feel the light descending with you. You take on form and realize your individuality, even as the light is still part of you. And you descend through the realms of silence, the great beings of light escorting you downward into the celestial celebration with the billions of beings, the energy of their hearts rising, and now back down through the portal into your body. And yet, the passageway remains open. The light of God, the blessings of those great realms of silence, and the celebration, they're all descending and they're part of you. And you see that through your heart, they are now radiating, all of them, into your life. And with Jesus, we join together and declare, I am the light of the world. For it is not I, but the Spirit within that does the work through me. The light of God descends into my heart and radiates as a blessing into all the world around me, comforting, nurturing, lifting everyone and everything around me. And within yourself, you give thanks now for the realization that the light of God shines through me. Father, thy will be done through each and every one of us. Thy will be done through me. Amen. And if our usher will come forward, we'll prepare for our offering. I've got my little spiel to do here for those of you who are at home. The way you give your offering, because you are an extremely important part of our church. The way you give your offering is at the end of service. You can either go to the home page, hit the Donate Now button, use a credit card or PayPal. You can pull off our address and send us a check. Some people have their banks do regular things. Okay. I'm sorry. I am a creature of the last millennium, so I'm going to tell you, you can use Zelle. I can't, but you can. And you can, if you do, you'll need to use our email address, which is unityorlando@gmail.com. Or you can call the office and Linda will talk you through it. We who are here, we take our offering in our hands. We bless it knowing the consciousness we give in is as important as the gift we give. So we fill it with love, joy, and gratitude, knowing that's the energy in which we'll receive back from the universe. So let's affirm together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all the good I am and have, all the good I give and receive. Thank you, God. Amen. It's all yours, Brian.
Me walking through a desert all by myself. I keep searching for the reason, but there's no answers left. Then I remember there's a spark of you in my inner light. I found myself in an oasis, and I had to realize you kept me warm in an endless winter. You keep me dry in the pouring rain. You're always with me. You're always in me. You're never far away. You're never far away. You're never far away. Now I'm not searching for the answers like I used to do, 'cause I've run out of all the questions, 'cause all I need is you. You kept me warm in an endless winter. You keep me dry in the pouring rain. You're always with me. You're always in me. You're never far away. You're never far away. You're never far away. Winter, you keep me dry in the pouring rain. You're always with me, you're always in me. You're never far away, you're never far away. You kept me warm in an endless winter. always with me. You're always in me. You're never far away. You're never far away. You're never far away. You're never far away. You're never far away.
Woo! I love that ending to this service. That was great. Thank you all. Good energy. And thank you, each one of you, for being my compatriots on this path through the earth. Each one of you makes this place a little nicer place to be in because you're here too. Thank you for being Unity Orlando. You at home, we can feel you. Next Sunday, we'll talk about declaring divine order. Declaring divine order. Let's rise and let's radiate into the world our prayer of protection together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. God bless you.